Okay, so let's continue on the tour with Johnny English Reborn. So if you remember the double lodge gates that we looked at quite extensively in My Week with Marilyn, if we were to drive through those gates, if you have loaded Johnny English and you've got the movie playing, if you time search to 45 minutes and 1 second, and what we're going to do is some frame searching. So if it's paused, you might need to frame search backwards just to get to the first frame in the second of one, if that makes sense. And to frame search, you press the scan button on your remote, which is the 2 arrows. So to frame search backwards, you scan backwards, and obviously to frame search forward, you scan forwards. But it won't scan, obviously it will just jump 1 frame at a time. So, and then when it goes to 45 minutes 00, that will be the 24th frame in 00. And what you want to do is skip forward 1 more frame until the counter reads 01. Then you'll be on the first frame of second 1. Okay, so right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And 13, you should see a cut to a red brick building and a sign saying "Welcome to Dingham Hospital." So also in the background to the left of the frame, you'll see part of Double Lodge that we've just come through, pretending that we've just come through. But this is where I used to drive through every morning. Now if you see the yellow box on the tarmac, that was painted purely for this production of Johnny English Reborn. So it was never usually there, and one day I turned up to work, perhaps after a weekend or something, to find this yellow box painted on the tarmac and saying ambulance only. So there was a bit of an inkling there that they were about to use the East Side complex, which is now, as I said, the Peter Rogers building, for a hospital or something, and clearly this is how they've dressed it. So if we then go to 45 and 3 seconds, and then we'll do a couple of frame searches. So 1, 2. Right, so it's a bit fiddly, I know, but because the scene is so short, it's the best way I can show you. So if you go back to when the counter goes from 02 to 03, right, and then when you skip forward again and the counter goes to 03, you are on frame 1 of second 3. So then you count 21 frames from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21. Maybe I did that wrong. Maybe it's only 18 frames. So basically, as you're frame skipping along, as you can see the doctors in white coats at the front of the ambulance, and you see basically a double door just before the ambulance covers it completely. I actually think there's some frames missing there, but it doesn't matter. That's the door I used to go through every morning to get into work. So no, that's not a hospital. That is literally just the East Side complex, or it was back then in 2010, 2011. And They had dressed up the inside. They put a gurney in there, and they'd made it look like a hospital, even though you can't see through the doors. It just shows what they go to, efforts they do to dress a set, even if you're not going to see anything. And with this ambulance going so quickly that you don't really get to see anything anyway. Okay, so the next time code will be 45 minutes and 8 seconds. Like I said, very short scene this. 8 seconds. There we go. And you'll see Rowan Atkinson inside the helicopter, which is on top of the ambulance. Like I said, I'd turn up to work, and on this particular day anyway, there was an ambulance actually parked on those yellow markings, with its back to the front door we've just looked at, and there was a helicopter on top. And when it came to lunchtime, we had to then obviously leave our building through the back door. And as we were about to walk around the corner of the building towards the canteen, part of the crew stopped us because they were about to do a take, and you never know, it could be the take that you see in the film here. So we had to wait a few minutes to delay our lunch while Rowan Atkinson did his thing in a helicopter on top of an ambulance. And 17 frames. The reason for the 17 frames is just because you see a bit more of Pinewood in the background. So again, go back until it says 07, and then we can count on from there when it says 08. So I skip forward another frame, 08. Now that's frame 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Right, so now we've changed angle, and what you can see in the background is the far corner of the Eastside complex, the red brick building between the black actor's head and the sort of bulkhead of the helicopter. Through the door of the helicopter, you can see what is the sort of the admin building, and the canteen sort of there as well. And you see a silver car. What did my notes say? Yes, so the corner of the Eastside complex, the white buildings above the silver car is the catering and admin buildings. Basically the original mansion. It's sort of the end of the old mansion. And so sort of the direction the car is going, or is parked because it's not moving anywhere, is down Peter Rogers Way, which is the way I used to come in from, if you look at the screen, from right to left. And so let's see. Yep, covered all my notes there. Well, there you go. That is a very short scene in Johnny English, but gets us a little bit further into the grounds of Pinewood Studios. So if we were on the road heading towards that silver car and we turned left, we'd go to the car park and we'd be right next to the Warner Brothers building. And to our right would be the gardens and the mansion. And let's head there now, shall we? So what's the next film? Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1.